profile. So the third biggest storyline is a guy who was the second best player in the sport last season to Zach Edey, and that's Dalton Knecht, who dropped all the way to 17. This is the second consecutive year in which there was a player that had top five-ish buzz. Last year, Cam Whitmore was really top five. Knecht was more like in that 6 to 8 range. Dalton Knecht wound up slipping all the way to 17. Heard from a couple people around the league, and the assumption here was, one, there was a string there. Let me read out the teams. Once you got into like the 12 to 16 or the 11 to 16 range, Bulls, Thunder, Kings, Blazers, that went to the Wizards, the Heat, which I kind of don't buy. They took Ware, though. It was a fit situation more than anything else. Some of it was age. Maybe some of it was a little bit of concern on the defense there. This is stunning to me. I am the guy who had the big board. I think that Dalton Knecht is positioned to potentially have the best career of anyone in this draft. I'm that much of a believer in his shooting ability at his size, his athleticism. He can get into the paint. I do think he is a competent enough and will continue to be a competent enough defender. And how about this, Parrish? The fact that J.J. Redick in his first season was, and I'm going to use this word with intention, gifted Dalton Knecht, a guy who had what we thought, at least from, how about this, evaluators outside looking in, not NBA front offices, Knecht was a top 10 grade across the board. He falls all the way to 17, a genuinely surprising plot line that unfolded there. Your thoughts on the fact that we had the second best player, undeniable first team All-American, who did have late bloomer, to say the least, winds up slipping to the back half of the first round.
Yeah, I mean, you can use his age against him if you want to, but when your best player is about to turn 40, I don't care if your rookie's, you know, I don't care if your rookie's 24 or whatever he is. Like, you need people who are ready to play with LeBron James tomorrow. And I think Dalton Knecht is. This is my favorite pick, or at least one of my favorite picks in the first round, because you just look at, say, what Milwaukee did, right? Milwaukee has the 23rd pick in this draft, and they take A.J. Johnson, who has potential and all of that stuff.
95% of the people listening to the show have no idea who A.J. Johnson is.
He ain't going to help the Milwaukee Bucks at all next season, all right? So if you are Giannis or Dame, and you just watched the Celtics win a championship, the Knicks go out and add Mikal Bridges and reportedly re-signed OG Anunoby. The Celtics, oh, by the way, added somebody who can help them with the 30th pick in the draft in Baylor Shireman. And then you go at 23 in Milwaukee and draft A.J. Johnson. Like, there are certain franchises, like, say, Washington, where you should be taking big swings on young prospects because you're trying to hit. And then there's places like Milwaukee, Minnesota, Philadelphia, the Lakers, where you should be trying to get somebody who can help you now. And I think the Lakers knocked that out of the park. You ready for this? As long as you're sitting at 17 and waiting to see who falls to you, I don't think they could have grabbed a player at 17 better equipped to help them next year than they grabbed with Dalton Knecht. I don't know that I'm hand in hand with you thinking he's going to be the best player in this draft in, say, 3 to 5 years, but I think he's going to be one of them, and certainly one of the better rookies. And if you've got LeBron James and Anthony Davis for only so many more years, this is the type of player I want to put with them. He's a shooter. That's ideal, but he's not just a shooter. He's much more than that.
You get to 17 in the draft, almost anyone will tell you are hoping at that point.
Yeah.
But my goodness, man, the fact that Knecht falls that far. So the players that were picked around him, Bub Carrington, 14, Khalil Ware, 15. That's a fascinating fit, honestly, with Ware going higher than people thought. And then he goes to the one franchise that's going to hold him as accountable as you could possibly expect. McCain is 16, Knecht 17, and then De Silva from Colorado's 18. Jacoby Walter goes to Toronto at 19 there. Knecht seems, come on, man. Like, I get it's the LeBron and Anthony Davis show, and they're beholden to Austin Reeves to a certain extent. I get a lot of that, but he just feels like he's going to be able to step in and be one of the 5 or 6 most relevant rookies in the league next season, going to a spot that could really, really use him, that needs his shooting there. So good on Redick. I said it on HQ. I'll back it up here. Redick averaged like 12.2, 12.3 points for his career, which is actually a little bit lower than I thought when I went to look it up. Dalton Knecht will I think he'll finish his career career having averaged more per game than JJ Redick. I don't know if his career will last as long. I don't know if he'll be a 42% three-point shooter the way that Redick was. He's not the same exact kind of player, but talk about a coach who seems really fit to be able to work with a guy. And Redick's, he's just a few podcast episodes removed from playing in the NBA, my man. So that's a really awesome fit. And that became a pretty big story. The fact that he slid there, I don't think there was nothing there with the medical. I think part of it was age, which to me is silly. Part of it was fit, whatever. That was a big time storyline.
Yeah. I'm imagining Dalton Knecht was disappointed on some level, at least going through the process. You might be thrilled when you land where you land, but going through the process, that can't be fun. It happens to somebody every year. You walk into a room with one idea of how this night's going to go, and then it turns into a nightmare pretty quickly, and you're sliding, and you don't know why, and you didn't expect it. But ultimately, you do land in LA. Like you realize, the NBA season is going to start. None of this stuff has been announced yet, but there's going to be an opening night, the way there's always an opening night, like on a Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
And it'll be a doubleheader, and the Lakers are typically a part of it. And Dalton Knecht's going to come off the bench and get shots up. Like that's probably going to happen. And so on some level, you're disappointed because you thought you might go 7th, and instead you go 17th. Again, with the rookie scale, it cost him real money. Like he lost real money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one side of it. Like
yes.
There's a rookie pay scale in place, and if you pick 7th, you get paid much more money than if you get picked 17th. So financially, it's not a great night for him. But I think maybe you can find some solace in the idea that I'm about to go play for the most glamorous franchise in the NBA, beside the all-time scoring leader and Anthony Davis. And I know the Lakers aren't going to be projected to win a championship, but they'll be good. They were good post-trade deadline this past season. And if you're Dalton Knecht, if you woke up this morning and somebody told you you're going 17th, that don't sound good. You woke up this morning and somebody says, hey, I can't tell you how it happens, but you're going to be a Los Angeles Laker. I like that a little more.
We both really like Knecht. I'm going to say he gets removed from our next segment here. We're going to take a break. But after that, we're going to talk about the fits and the picks that we like most, and then a couple of our head-scratching ones, but not at first. Even at this late hour, we need a word from our partners.